Yeah, we're going live just a little bit early. Hope nobody minds. Since nobody is apparently waiting, we're good to go. Um, this is just a reference for how far I am at the start of the stream. So we are 2 lengths across the mirror, just a little bit less, but all right. Sorry if I'm not chatting as much at the beginning here. When there are people not on at the moment, I tend not to really know where to go with the conversation. I do know that from the analytics that a fair number of people are watching these after the fact, so I hope I'm at least able to provide useful information for you as well, in addition to those who are here when it's running live. Probably only run for about an hour tonight. Constables Association meeting last night kind of wore me out a little bit. Didn't get as much sleep as I normally do, so keep it light and easy tonight. But from people who know more about YouTube than I do, they say that if you're going to increase your viewership and get shown by the algorithm to people who might be interested in it but have no idea who you are or what you do, you need to produce consistent content. So that's why I'm going to try and run a braiding stream about every other day for as often as I can keep it up. Also because it's fun and I enjoy doing it. But one of the main goals for this is to teach kumihimo to people, and if people are interested, don't really see it, it doesn't really help much. I've decided to get a new 3D printer and get one that's actually going to be a decent working machine rather than a hobbyist toy. I'm tired of fighting with the machine just to get it to do simple prints. And I have enough experience with CNC in general that I don't really feel I need to spend a lot of time trying to get the most out of a relatively low-end machine. Just not worth my aggravation at this point. So I'm going to be getting an FL Sun V400 Delta. Thinking about seeing how well I can make tama with it and do some other stuff for making braiding equipment. Speaking of things CNC, my day job is working at a plastics manufacturing plant. And I run machines and do programming. So I was having to convert over some programs from one machine to another one because of capacity requirements. And it ran into a problem on the test program. Countersink was supposed to come down and drill to depth, pause for a second, and then raise up again, and it wasn't doing that. In CNC machines, when you want it to pause, there is a P code. Basically, it's just the letter P with a number after it, telling it how long you want it to wait in position while the spindle is still turning, just to make sure that you've got a nice smooth finish. You don't have like a little raised edge where it stops cutting when it lifts back out. And in most of the commercial production type machines I've dealt with, the controller was designed by Fanuc, or Fanuc, however you pronounce it, and they measure the time for a P in thousandths of a second. So if you want it to pause at the bottom of the hole for 1 second, you would do P 1000. Well, that's what the code here said, but after about 15 seconds of realizing it wasn't going to raise up, I went ahead and shut it off. Took a little bit of experimentation, but it turns out that on the machine I was running this job on, the increments for the P code were tenths of a second, not thousandths of a second. So instead of wanting to run for 1 second, the machine thought it was going to need to wait for 100 seconds before it could move on to the next operation. So once I got that figured out, it was fairly simple to convert it to P10 instead of P1000. So and part of the reason I was aware that this might be the thing, or might be the case, I have a CNC router in my garage that runs off of a Gerbil-based controller, as in Gerbil. It's a fairly inexpensive controller, so a lot of hobbyist type machines or mid-grade ones tend to run on that controller. And in that one, for the pause P code, a single number, a single one would be a full second. So I was aware that they could be different settings. It just took a little bit of experimentation to figure out what it was supposed to be on that particular machine. But yeah, I gave myself a gold star for that. Still not seeing anybody on, but that doesn't mean people won't watch this later. We're about a quarter of the way into the stream, and I'm getting close to the point where I need to drop the weights down further so that I have enough thread to grab onto. But I don't seem to be making the mistakes I was doing the other day, which is nice. Either I'm a little more awake or I'm getting more and more comfortable with this pattern. Time to pause and let the tama down. We are definitely making good progress. We're also getting close to the point where I got to pick out the next braid I want to do. I think I'll do Facebook polls, just to give people a chance who don't drop in the stream an idea of having me do a braid they'd like to learn, so they'll be more likely to come along and watch as I do it. I could be wrong. That seems to make sense to me. And we're ready to move to the other side. Move one. And that was move two. And move three. And now I have all of the short side facing me, and the bag has dropped all the way down, so I need to raise that up too. Okay. I'm actually getting very close to the end here. At least based off of how quickly the thread appears to be going off of the, or the floss appears to be going off of the tom as I roll them down. I'm getting pretty close to the leaders. I also think I'll make a couple of short videos of the patterns that I'm doing, just so I can have them as shorts so people can refer to them. They don't necessarily have to watch the live stream if they don't want to. Okay, back to braiding. Another poll I suppose I should do is whether or not it's worth it to change the time I'm braiding. Oh, we're almost halfway through and still nobody on live. Oh well. I'm tempted to sing, but A, I don't want to horrify anybody, and B, I don't want to get copyright struck just for having the wrong music to sing along with. Looks like they spliced one of my threads of DMC floss. Can't blame them, but it is annoying when I run across them. Back's starting to bother me. It's letting me know I'm reaching out too far to do this. That's one of the downsides of this particular setup. The closer you can get this into your core, the more natural it feels. Getting there. Okay, so far in about just over half an hour, I've added this much length. I'm starting to guess this is a bad time for live streaming. At least for my current subscriber base. Getting close to time to drop the weights again. Or unroll them. Unroll the tama. At least my allergies finally seem to be letting up. I think I'll see how short I can get these before they get unwieldy. Some of these are getting to the point where there's only about 4 fingers worth of width between the tama and the bottom of the mirror. So letting me know I don't have much more to go. Hey, somebody joined. Thank you for stopping by. If there's any questions I can answer for you, I'd be happy to do so. I'm currently trying to see how far I can let the Tama weights come up to the mirror before I have to actually drop the weights again to have enough room to grab a hold of them. I'm almost there. Whoops. Guess they didn't want to stay. Oh well. Yeah, that's about all I got there. Getting to the point where I just won't be able to let them hang properly. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so those go there. Those go there. And those go there. Yeah, this is definitely getting unwieldy. Okay. Yeah, this is only that far away. Not enough room anymore. Yeah, at this point, we've only got about a couple of loops left before we hit the leader. Won't be much longer now. Probably not tonight, but maybe the next stream. So if anybody's actually watching this all the way through on the replay, leave a comment as to which braid you'd like me to do next out of the 120 in Makiko Tada's first book on Maru-dai Braids. Or if you've got another book you prefer, let me know what one out of that one you would like me to try. I do have several other books. And hey, it may give me an excuse to get one I don't have. Now for the other half. That's 1 out of 4. Two out of 4. Three out of 4. And 4 out of 4. Almost done with rolling the weights down. There we go. Now we can get back to braiding. Did them just a little too long. They're bumping the chair that I'm sitting on. Should only be a couple of times around the pattern until they come back up high enough they won't hit the chair. that splice is about to go into the point of braiding. It's right here, right now. Hello. Oh, no problem. Thank you for coming by. We're making pretty good progress on here. The tama are almost rolled out to the leaders. While I was by myself and chatting, one of the things I mentioned is I'm going to be picking up a new 3D printer. The one I have is really a low-end hobby machine, and I'm tired of fighting with it. And since I've got things that I'm planning on using it for, I figured I should get one that would actually work properly. Might try making tama shells with it too. But I'm going to be making some accessories for the takadais, like something to hang mirrors from. So you can see the underside of your braid when you're working a 2-layer braid to make sure that you're not braiding it wrong. Fortunately, I don't seem to be making as many mistakes as I was last time. Either I'm getting more familiar or I'm slightly more alert. Yeah, I had a Ender 3 Pro, and I'm going to be getting the FL Sun V400. It's a fairly large delta, and it can do everything from PLA to nylon. It's also very fast. But a friend of mine who does a lot of 3D printing says that that particular company and their delta machines are very precise. So that's what I'm looking forward to being able to do and use. Yep, nice having some fairly durable printed objects if I need it. The PLA is nice and easy to work with, but they don't hold up to heat too well. And while I'm in Pennsylvania, so it's not horribly hot in the summer all the time, it does get up there, especially if you accidentally forget and leave something in a car. Yep. Just making sure I've done all of the last set of moves. I think I'm going to do a Facebook poll for what the next braid I should do. Well, I've been getting a fair number of views on the replay for the live stream. I'm not getting a lot in the way of comments. So I figure doing a Facebook poll would get a little more coverage just so that I can do braids that people would like to see how they're done. Yeah, the V400s are just coming out on the market. So essentially you're pre-ordering them, they're shipping them in batches. The next batch shipment date I can get in on will be October 10th. Oh, speaking of CNC stuff, I work in a machine shop running CNC routers and programming for them. I don't know how familiar you are with G-code, but for a lot of Finite-based controllers, if you want to pause, the numbering system for the P command is in thousandths of seconds. So if you want a full second of dwell at the bottom of a drilling cycle, you would do P1000. Well, I was setting up for a job where I'd just posted the code for it. And apparently our post isn't quite right because the P1000 was running for over 15 seconds before I stopped the machine so it wouldn't catch the phenolic on fire. A little bit of experimentation proved that the machine I was using has 1/10 of seconds for the P code numbers. So I had to go through and edit that, but yeah, 100-second dwell is not something I want to do with a drill and phenolic. Even if it doesn't catch fire, they tend to outgas. That's not pleasant. Yeah, P infinite. That was what I was wondering. Wound up dropping it to P1 just to confirm that it wasn't crashing on the code. Okay. We're at about 1 hour, so I should probably call tonight. I do have to get up early. But when I started the stream, this was how long the thread was, or the braid was. So this much has been done in an hour. That's about, I'd say, 14 inches. So I'm really pleased with the output for tonight, even though I didn't get a chat with too many people. I'll probably do another braiding stream on Thursday, and I probably can get this one done because that's about all that's left on the Tama. And once I get to the leader, it'll come up. But and I'll probably do a quick little video so I can just post it as a short so people can see how it's done. But thank you very much, and you have a good night, and we'll probably see you in a few days. Stay safe. Oh, no worries. You have a safe one, and thank you for coming by when you did.